Days it's going to be a little bit more easygoing, a little bit more gentle stretching. We're still going to maybe build up a little bit of a sweat. Depending on if you're wanting to work hard, you can. Go ahead and begin though. Find yourself in an easy sitting pose. The eyes can be closed or open. The palms can relax wherever is comfortable. Taking a few minutes here, begin tuning into your breath, into your body. Allowing yourself to observe a natural pace of breath here. While doing so, begin to make any subtle adjustments to your body so that you feel a little more settled into the ground. Feel the sit bones planting to the ground beneath you. Start to draw your breath deep into the belly and the back. Each exhale, let go of tension from the body, softening around the hips and the ankles. With the legs creating a nice foundation for yourself, start to draw your breath through the vertebrae. Try to feel a little taller. Begin letting the shoulders soften with the exhale. Elbows loosening out. Any tension in. Moments here, we're going to do cleansing breaths together. For the cleansing breaths, we're going to try and take the biggest we can through the nostrils. Pause at the top of each. And our full exhales will be through. Go ahead and finish your current breath here. Next inhale through the nose. Pause at the top of your breath. Scan the body, look for any tightnesses. Full cleansing exhale. Pause at the top. Breath here. Pause a little longer on this one. Try about 5 seconds. Exhale. Assuming a natural pace of breath. Take a moment and scan your entire body one more time here for any remaining tension or tightness that's shrugging, the jaws clenched a little bit or the eyes are squinting. Raise to soften as you find them. You may leave your palms wherever they are or slowly glide them up to your heart center in prayer position, bringing yourself to an intention for your practice here this afternoon. On your next inhale, you can open the eyes here if you like. We're going to start by reaching the palms through the sky and let them press firm together. And try to feel the webbing between the fingers. Exhale, twist to one side, pull the belly in tight, and try to lift up through the chest. Now back to center, palms press firm together, lift up in the heart. Exhale, twisting to the second side. Inhale to center, we'll clasp the palms together and see if you can press them flat and wide to the sky. Imagine you're trying to balance maybe like a plate or a cup on your palms. Exhale, just back to the first side, a little deeper this time. Try to bind the back palm if you're comfortable. Inhale back to center, we'll clasp the non-dominant palm over, press them flatter and wider up. Exhale, twisting to the second side. Inhale to center. Keep the chin tucked in and try to touch the wall behind you. Like you're trying to reach up, shining the chest tall, maybe even letting the chin reach towards the sky. But exhale, twist back to the first side, and we're going to hold here. If you find that you're leaning onto your back palm, you can always use a block to try and lift up your posture a little bit more. If you're not leaning on the back palm too much, maybe try to bind it here. Take one more deep breath. Feel a little taller through your chest or through your twist, belly tight. Inhale back to center. Make sure the belly stays tight. Try to look at the entire sky. Maybe the wall behind you is. Exhale, twist to the second side. Belly still tight here as you lift open your chest, opening up the posture, keeping your twist on the exhale. And one more big breath here. Inhale back to center. We're going to leave the arms overhead for about 2 or 3 breaths. Start to plug the shoulders into the hips. Pull the belly into your spine and press the knees strong into the ground. We're going to take one more deep breath here, using all that grounding. See how far back you can reach. You feel like you're about to fall over. Exhale, relax the hands on the knees. We're just going to do a couple hip circles, starting towards your left knee first as you big inhale across. And exhale around the back. Keeping the sit bones rooted down. The knees try not to float too much. Kind of feel like they're reaching away from the ground. Try to press them downwards. 2 more big circles here. Release through the right heel, the left heel close. Bring the right hand in front or underneath right ankle. With your next inhale, reach the left hand up and then behind the neck. It's almost like you're trying to touch your opposite ear, but still looking up towards the sky, kind of challenging yourself. With the big inhale, open up the chest, spiral it tall. On the exhale, pull yourself into the stretch if you're feeling pretty comfortable. Otherwise, just sink into it. Take one more breath here, spiraling the chest open. Sinking a little deeper. With your next breath, ease your way out of this pose back into your easy sitting. You can switch legs on top, doesn't really matter either way. I'm going to do hip circles towards the right knee this time. Cross. Exhale the opposite side. Keeping with the breath. The hips, back, diaphragm. More big circles here. Finding your full range, pressing into the corners a little bit more. Back at neutral, we're going to extend through the left heel this time. Keep the right heel close. Bringing the left hand in front or maybe underneath. Right hands are going to reach up. Big inhale. Exhale, the hand behind the neck. Pretend you're trying to grab onto your arm while looking up. On the inhale, spiral the chest open. This floating elbow is going to try and reach back as well. Your exhale, sink a little deeper. This grounded palm to pull. One more big breath here. Chest spirals up. Hold at the hip. Next inhale, release out. Back into your sitting. We're going to kind of do what looks like hip circles, but it's going to be more like a chest circle. We're going to go towards the left knee. I want you to try and lead with your big inhale across. Imagine you're trying to turn them across the wall. Fall on your one side, back, the other side. More chest move than hip. Take big breaths through the ribs. Expand the back body. Case with you. Three more big circles. Really open up to the chest and the front if you can. Stretch the back. And here. Last one. Meeting back in neutral, keep the left heel close, right heel out. If you had a finger or two underneath your ankle, see if you can get the entire palm this time. Didn't even have the palm underneath, try to get it, maybe a finger, pointer finger. With your next inhale, reach the left hand up, and this time try to reach all the way up and over. See if you can grab onto your toes. A lot of times your arm's going to be floating up here. Have that shoulder pinch. You're going to want to try and get that bicep to hug in towards your cheek. Take 2 more breaths here. Make sure this bent knee is pressing into the ground. Spiral the chest open and sink a little deeper. Next inhale or release out. Bring that other leg on top if you like. Chest circles. Cross, really try to open up the chest here, pressing it through that wall you're in front of. The shoulders kind of float in back. Get the chest to move. Bring your move like you're disconnecting the top half of your body from the upper half. Back in neutral, we'll extend through the left heel. Close. Try to challenge your reach with the palm here. If you can get a finger or two underneath, maybe the entire palm is good. With your next inhale, reach the right hand up, all the way over. Try and fight against that shoulder tightness. Hug that bicep in here. Roll the chest open. Press the knee ground. Hold at the hip. Pull yourself into this stretch if you're comfortable. Another 2 deep breaths. Your elbows bending. Try to flex it straight. Slowly releasing out of this pulse. The butterfly. Bring both heels together. You're going to pull the heels all the way as close as you can towards the groin. To lift open the heart, plug the shoulders down. You're going to take 3 breaths here. Try to see if the knees can press through the ground. If they're floating up here, the glutes, the hamstrings, use the quads, any muscle you can feel in the legs to start to flex the knees while keeping the chest up. The belly in tight. Shoulders down. 1 more deep breath. Rock forward onto our hands and our knees. Stop pose. Let the palms feel wide as they can. I like to feel the webbing between each of my fingers here to make sure they're as wide as I can possibly get them to. The knees are not going to press into the ground too heavy. I want to feel the tops of my feet heavier than the knees. Inhale, the belly and chest is going to push down for cow belly. Crown are going to exhale, round the vertebrae up and pull your sit bones and crown down. Exhale to your angry cat back. While you move through these, try to feel even pressure through your 4 limbs. You might feel like your palms are trying to hold up more of your weight than legs can. The tops of the feet press into the ground. Shift your weight towards. If you're feeling pretty comfortable with these, try to move the vertebrae one at a time. Start from the hip. Up the spine, one at a time. You get to the vertebra or the crown last. And same thing on the exhale and the inhale. Finish up. 1 more big pass through here. Feet in child's pose. Bring your big toes together. Bring the knees out to the edges of your mat and press your hips to the heels. See if they can actually make contact. Palms can slide forward. You're going to let the forehead down to the ground. If you're a little bit more flexible here and you want to open up the chest and the neck, the chin reach down to the ground. So kind of stretch through the neck, If you're still feeling pretty comfortable and you want to challenge this more, fingertips are going to point down and the wrists are going to float up. Take 2 deep breaths here into the rib cage. Press your entire body through the ground, from big toe to the fingertips. Let them relax the palms down. We're going to walk the hands over to the right. Find the stretch in the left armpit. Take another breath here. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the left. Feeling a stretch underneath your right armpit. Try to expand it more with the inhale. Feeling your body weight press through the ground. Inhale back to center. We'll meet back in tabletop. Roll the toes under for downward facing dog. The heels will press towards the ground and the hips into the sky. Feel length and strength in the legs. Take a few breaths. See if you can walk out the calves and the hamstrings a little bit here. Very gently swaying out the hips and the shoulders. And we're going to start our practice with 2 easy variations of the vinyasa flow, but feel free to stay with this variation throughout the practice if you like. With your next inhale, feel strong in your downward dog. Imagine you're trying to press down through all 4 corners of your mat. Exhale, flatten and lengthen down to the mat for baby cobra. Inhale, rise to baby cobra. Heavy through the legs, peel the chest up. Shoulders peel back. Exhale, downward facing. Make sure the palms are still flat and wide as can be. Walk out the legs for another breath here. Inhale, press down through the ground. Use all 4 of your limbs. Exhale, flatten and lengthen down to the mat. Inhale, rise to baby cobra. Peel the shoulders back. The palms can try and float up. Exhale, downward facing. Take 2 or 3 breaths here. If you want to, hold an active pose. You're going to try and press the heels a little flatter. Feel the webbing between your fingers and your toes. Press stronger through the ground with your palms and your heels. Flex your abs. Take another deep breath into the low back. Let the exhale relax the vertebrae. With your next inhale, yourself back into. Out the wrists if you. In your tabletop, make sure that you feel that even grounding, just like we talked about before, the tops of the feet heavier than your knees. Then we're going to reach the left heel. Automatically feels like your right knee is heavy. You can always fold your mat over a little bit or use any sort of padding that you like. Get that big toe can press into the ground to alleviate that pressure. Right hand's going to reach forward. We're going to inhale, reach the limbs further apart. Exhale, center through. Exhale, center. So the shoulder blades stay plugged in. And your floating palm is trying to reach, palm is reaching up, especially those with shoulders. Last one here. And with next inhale, either keep the limbs reaching out there, or you can try your tiger pose, grabbing onto your. Next inhale, press the chest tall. Start to feel extension through the knees. Both knees are going to try and go straight. More big breath into the low back. Release out very gently and relax. Adjust your grounding. We're going to switch sides. The right heel is going to reach back. The left palm is going to reach forward. Sky as much as you can. Rotate through the armpit. The inhale, float the limbs further from each other. Exhale, centering through. Now reach. Inhales, I like to feel like I'm wringing out a towel. See how far they can reach each. The exhale, it's more just like a crunch. Abs are. Last one here. Inhale, reach the limbs out. Hold there or tiger pose. Hang onto your foot. Take a deep breath as you shine the chest up. Exhale, extend through your knees. This foot is not grounded. You're going to feel like you're losing your balance. Feel this big toe kind of pressing into the ground. The other big toe reaching through the sky. Next inhale, release out, and relax. Out the shoulders and the hips any way you like. You're going to meet back into your downward facing dog. Bring the big toes and heels together to challenge your downward dog. And we're going to inhale to plank or modified plank with knees down is fine. Exhale, chaturanga, like a push-up. Upward facing dog, big inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. So that's a little bit more challenging vinyasa flow. We warmed up with an easier variation. Let's go through that challenging one more time. Inhale to plank, modified plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. One deep breath here. With your next inhale, go ahead and bend the knees. I'm going to stretch out the wrists a little bit here. Go ahead and place the right wrist upside down. Thumbs and pinkies are going to stretch out wide. Take a big inhale. Try both. Try both. Relax off the palms. We're going to meet back into your downward facing dog. Go ahead and step forward. Forward fold. You can hug the elbows here. Gently shake them out a little bit. Take a deep breath into the low back. And let the vertebrae feel a little looser through the exhale. Hanging all the way down to the crown. One more big breath here. Relax the arms. Keep the spine soft as you slowly round the vertebrae up one at a time, very gently. Pulling the shoulders back at the top. Bring the big toes and heels together if they're not already. On the inhale, feel taller through your posture. The chest is going to lift up, the crown reaching through the sky. The exhale, feel heavy through your feet. Called standing mountain pose. You want to feel a little bit grounded here. You want to feel strong in your pose. Take one more big inhale, feel tall. Exhale, ground. Inhale, upward salute, reach up, reach back. Forward fold, exhale, hinge at the hip. Halfway up, inhale, chest tall. Exhale, forward fold. Flex the abs here. Take a big inhale into your back. Exhale, plant the palms, back. You can either hang out in downward facing dog or let's flow through vinyasa. Out to plank. Anga. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Inhale the right heel to the sky. Bend the knee and point the toes. Exhale, float your knee in towards your chin. See if you can make contact. Inhale, reach the heel up and around. Exhale and float in. Last one, we're going to reach the heel up and around. Drop to the ground for your wobbling. Really trying to lift open the heart here. Keep the shoulder blades plugged in. Take one more deep breath. Exhale, right palm back to the ground. Right foot will step forward. Your warrior one. The left heel is going to drop to 45. Don't press yourself away from the ground here. You're going to lift yourself. The back leg. Settle into this front knee if you're comfortable. You can keep it straight, but so on and so forth with each exhale. You're going to try and get this knee to bend. Take one more big inhale. See if the chest can lift up. The arms reach back. Exhale, plant the palms. Back and flow through vinyasa or hang out in downward dog. Anytime we get to the vinyasas, it's up to you if you want to do them. I encourage you to do them as much as you can. Eventually, you'll be able to do all of them. With your next inhale, reach the left heel up. Reach it around. Exhale, float the knee in. Inhale, reach it up and around. Exhale, float it in. Last one. You can take this into waddling if you like. Dropping the foot to the ground. Press the hips up. Opening up the heart. Exhale, left palm back down. Left foot forward into your warrior one. Drop the heel to 45 first and then use that grounding to lift you up. The exhale, you can settle into this front knee. You want to try and keep the hips squared towards the front end of your mat. Take one more big inhale. Reach up, reach back. Exhale. Palms and step back. There if you like. Take one deep breath. Inhale, left heel up to the sky. Exhale, float the knee in. Inhale, reach it even more. Exhale, float the knee in. And then last one into your waddling again. We're going to hold for about 2 breaths. Drive the hips up as strong as possible. Use the glutes. Feel that bottom palm pressing into the ground. This hand can kind of just stay slung here if you like to, or you can reach it. Take one more deep breath. Exhale, left palm back to the ground. Left foot steps forward into your warrior one. Don't press yourself up. Lift yourself up. Big inhale. See if maybe front knee can bend a little deeper this time. We're going to really try and exaggerate the strength of our back leg. A lot of times I see people kind of bending it here. They think it's straight, but I tell them to straighten more, and they usually can. So find that exaggeratingly strong and straight knee. Take one more big inhale. That knee straight, maybe that front knee can bend. One more big inhale. See if you can look up, look back. Exhale. Palms. Take a deep breath. Inhale the right heel up, then the knee, point the toes. Exhale, float the knee in. Inhale, tall heel. Exhale, float the knee in. And last one into your waddling here, if you want to do it. Take 2 breaths, drive the hips up. Bottom arm presses strong, and do what you like with this floating arm here. If you want to feel long and strong through it, that's always a good option. Take another deep breath. Exhale the right palm to the ground. Right foot steps forward. Drop that left heel to 45. Rise, warrior one. See that front knee can start to bend a little deeper here. If that forces the back knee to bend, see if it can straighten a little bit more. Exaggeratingly strong, feel this leg. Take one more big inhale. Settle into that front knee, exhale. Now with your next inhale, see if you can look up, look back. Exhale, we'll plant the palms. Vinyasa. Take a deep breath here. Feel the webbing between your fingers and your toes. Pressing into the ground with your palms and your heels. Inhale, bend the knees, look to the front. Exhale, walk or jump, forward fold. Halfway up, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Upward salute, inhale, bend the knees first. Up and back. Higher ceiling. Exhale into your mountain pose. Big toes and heels together. Feel a little taller through the crown. Heavier through your feet. Upwards. Out, reach back. Hips are going to press forward. Make sure the glutes are engaged there. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway up, inhale. Try to make your body look like a number 7. Exhale, forward fold. The belly connected to your thighs as much as you can. Chair pose. Inhale to the back. Another deep breath here. See if you can kind of lift your chest up in a good posture. Squeeze the thighs together and fold more at the hips if not already there. Exhale, plant the palms, step or hop out so you can float through your vinyasa there. We're going to inhale the left heel to the sky from downward facing dog. Bend the knee, point the toes. Exhale, crisscross the knee to the inside elbow. If you want to, kick it straight. Inhale, reach the heel up and around. Exhale, crisscross in. Kick the leg straight if you want. And last one, this is going to be your last waddling here. If you want to take this into a wheel, you're going to have to try and pivot onto the mound of your pointer finger here and reaching the left palm to the ground. If you don't want to take the wheel, just hang out waddling for another deep breath here. And then left hand's going to float up, back down to the ground. Step the left foot forward into your warrior 2. Reaching out into warrior 2. When you're in your warrior 2, make sure that this right foot is strong, or the back foot is strong. The front foot doesn't feel too much pressure so that the knee can bend. You're going to try and lift the chest up, plug the shoulders down. The most common mistakes I see in warrior is that they're leaning too far forward. You want to feel kind of even between these 2 walls so that you're kind of grabbing onto this one, not letting go of it, and also grabbing onto this other. With your next inhale, feel tall through the chest. Plug the shoulders down. Reverse warrior on your next inhale. Keep the front knee bent. Up, reach back. Exhale, extended side angle, front elbow to front knee. The hand can reach up and over. You're still comfy here. Left hand down to the ground. Inhale back to reverse warrior. Exhale, spiral into your downward facing dog. Flow through there. Take a deep breath. Inhale the right heel to the sky, bend the knee, point the toes. Exhale, float the knee in towards the inside elbow, crisscross, and maybe straighten the leg. Inhale, reach up and around. Exhale, crisscross in. Last one here. Exhale, crisscross in. And we're going to go into our waddling there. We did one extra crisscross. Going to drive the hips up as strong as they can. And then if you want to take this into a wheel, you're going to have to pivot sound of your pointer. Bringing your way back up. Plant the right palm, the right foot forward into your warrior two. Spiraling up. Warrior two has this back foot 90 degrees. The front foot pointing straight to the front. On the inhale, lift open the heart. Exhale, plug the shoulders down. See if you can feel this left foot really heavy. The right knee tries to bend a little deeper. Your next inhale, reverse warrior. Reach up, reach back. You're anchoring down this leg here. Keeping it anchored on your exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse warrior. Spiral to your downward facing dog. Exhale. Float through your vinyasa there if you like. Take a deep breath. Inhale the right heel back up to the sky. Bend the knee, point the toes. Exhale, crisscross the knee towards the inside elbow. Try to kick it straight and maybe add a push-up if you want to. Inhale, reach the heel up and around. Exhale, crisscross in, maybe add a push-up. And on the last one, we're going to reach it up and around. Exhale, crisscross it through. Plant it down there for starfish pose. I have a wall in my way, so I can't really plant it down too far, but see how far in front of you can plant it. Left hand's going to reach up to the sky. Really try to widen out your limbs. As much as I can. Try to feel like you're making a snow angel. Exhale, left palm back down to the mat. Right heel to the sky. Big inhale. Step the right foot to the front, back into your warrior two. Spiraling out. Your next inhale, we'll go into our reverse warrior. Reach up, reach back. Exhale, extended side angle. Hold here for about 3 or 4 breaths. You can get the right hand to bind under, left hand to bind over. Take a deep breath, spiraling the chest a little more open. Plugging the shoulders down deep. They can squeeze together. So this left foot is pressing into the ground with as strong as you can, the leg. Another big inhale. Move the bind if you're in one. Reverse warrior. Make sure this left leg is anchored. Exhale, spiral into your downward facing dog. You can float through your vinyasa if you want. Inhale, the left heel to the sky, bend the knee, point the toes. Exhale, crisscross in, try to kick the leg straight, maybe add a push-up. Inhale, reach up and around. Exhale, crisscross in, maybe up. And last one, reach it up and around. Exhale, crisscross in, plant the foot down, way out in front if you can. Right hand will float up. The other leg doesn't really need to move, it just rotates. Take another deep breath, try to drive the hips out, feel wide through the limbs. Exhale, right palm down. Left heel to the sky, inhale. Left foot steps forward into your warrior two. Spiraling up. Right leg is heavy. Scoop it into the ground. Let this left knee bend as much as you can without the toes gripping onto the ground. So if you look at your toes, if they look like they're holding onto the floor, don't. Don't need to hold onto the floor here. You're already standing on it. Lift open the chest. Exhale, soften through the shoulders. Go into our reverse warrior. Reach up, reach back. Exhale, extended side angle. Elbow to front knee if you like. Hand inside the ground. Or bind. About 3 or 4 breaths. I'm going to try and spiral open the heart. Plug the shoulders in. Flex the abs. And press into this back leg to the floor. Maybe this left knee bend a little deeper. More breath here. Front toes are still relaxed, not gripping the ground. Move the bind. Reverse warrior. Reach up, reach back. Exhale, spiral to your downward facing dog. Float through your vinyasa. Take 2 or 3 breaths here. If you'd like to hold an active pose, just try to feel the webbing between your fingers and toes. It's a good place to start, making the downward dog feel more comfortable. Your next inhale, the knees front, Exhale, walk or jump, forward fold. Halfway up, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Glute, inhale, bend the knees first. Jump, reach back. Take another deep breath here. Go right into our triangle pose. We don't need to go through our vinyasa flow. We can step the right foot back. Keep the left foot forward. Keep the right leg heavy. Hinge at the hip. Big inhale. Back to center. I'll hinge even more. Back to center. Last one, hinge, hinge, hinge as far as you can. Bending down here. Trying to feel a stretch on the side of the hip. Back. Right leg is strong. Almost this entire space between my legs and the floor is trying to feel engaged. Trying to squeeze. Right hand can stay reaching. You can also bind it back if you want to try and open up the chest a little bit more. Strengthen the shoulder blades a little bit more. Take another deep breath here. Next inhale. Release the right hand up. Go wide forward. This wide forward fold. Take a big Cossack lunge on the right heel. Cossack lunge over to the left heel. We're going to do triangle on the opposite side now. Whatever side you were facing last time, face the other way. Set that straight leg, or I guess the foot pointed towards me, 90 degrees from the other foot. Out, hinge, relax, hinge more. Last one, reach all the way out as far as you can before you extend. Left hand can stay back, spiral the chest open. Feel strength between the legs. The groin is squeezing the legs together. More breath. Release the left hand. Wide forward. For this wide forward fold, just make sure that the groin is still active. It's almost like you're trying to slide the feet together. And just like the elbows, gently sway side to side, loosening out the shoulders, the neck, the crown. Take a deep breath through the back. And release the palms. We're going to point the right toes back again for another triangle. And we're going to add some variation to it. If you want to hang out in triangle, it's a very good stretch. It's one of my favorite stretches, actually. If you have sort of low back pain, hip pain, maybe even knee pain, this is a good pose to work with. On your inhale, we'll hinge out once. If you want to hinge out multiple times, feel free to do so. And we're going to extend down. Left hand can either reaching, back. You want to try balancing in our half moon pose. I would bind the hand. If you want to stay in triangle, do what you like. On your next inhale, we're going to bend the right knee, plant the right fingertips to something. If you have a block, place it on a block. Exhale, left heel is going to float back. Left hand can release from the bind if you want it to. On the inhale, you want to try and feel stretch through the limbs, reach them as far apart as they can. On the exhale, feel your roots growing through this bottom foot. Imagine you're trying to staple your mat to your foot. If you want to add variation here, you can always bend the back knee, grab onto your foot this way, and just trying eyes closed or hand floating over the neck. Take another big inhale here. Find that floating hand. Jump back down, wide forward. Going to go back into that Cossack lunge. To the side, sit in it for about 2 or 3 breaths. Get your hip to the ground, see if you can do that as well, with or without your palms, and maybe sitting back off your hip. Palms by framing this straight leg, getting yourself down and up. You've done it 3 or 4 times. Go ahead and switch sides. Although you can get the hips without your palms or with your palms if you like. Done it your 3 or 4 times. Go ahead and plant the palms forward and step forward into your forward fold. Halfway up, inhale. Palms downward facing dog, exhale. Inhale the right heel to the sky. Bring the knee forward, pigeon pose. Left toes will extend a little behind you. All right, open up our posture. Try to keep tall through the chest. Either holding here, if you want to, you can always use a bolster or a block, maybe a rolled up towel or a mat underneath your hip to support yourself, especially if you're really losing your balance and you're falling off to one. The palms are kind of needing to support you here, just hang out. Otherwise, you're going to try and bend your back knee. Seeing if your same side arm can grab onto the same side. The left leg behind you, bending, can grab on with your left arm. The palm can hold onto the foot. Maybe you can slide it into your wrist. Maybe it can slide into the elbow, or anywhere up the forearm is okay. You can totally keep it in the palm, though. The right hand's going to reach forward. That'll counterbalance. I'll reach the right hand up, across. Maybe biting the fingertips here. As close as they can is fine. If they can clasp here, it's fine. If you know even stronger variations, feel free to bring yourself into them. For the next 3 or 4 breaths, we'll be here. Try to keep the heart lifting open. The shoulder blades plugging down, feeling heavy. One more deep breath here, the chest. Slowly release that back leg down to the ground, very gently. Switch sides. Go through a gentle vinyasa here, the one I warmed up with. Fine. Out at the plank, flatten down, baby cobra. Slide the left knee forward, right toes back. All through your posture. Settle into the hip. If you need that block underneath the left hip, go ahead and bring it in there. The right knee is going to try and bend if you're comfortable in your balance only. Not just hang out here. This will build up. With your right foot into your right palm, maybe you can get into your wrist, elbow, wherever it can get is okay. This will also build over time. Inhale the left hand forward, reach it up. Kind of losing your balance here, then just keep it on the ground. This is a nice spot to hold. You can always pause at any time through these poses. Bring the left hand up, over, clasp. Try your other variations here if you want to. Take another 2 or 3 deep breaths through the collarbone. Try to feel the heart kind of opening up on the inhale. Slowly letting that back leg down. Up onto your palms. Flow through a very gentle vinyasa here. And sitting pose. Left hand up and over. Bring the right hand down and up. See if the fingers can clasp along. They're clasping pretty strong together here. You can also add some sort of forward fold. We'll stretch more of the hip, low back, vertebrae a little bit. It's already really tough for you to do to grab the fingertips to hang out standing tall. Take a deep breath. Let the elbows drive a little further behind your peripheral view. Let the fingers start to reach stronger together. Trying to build range with our inhale. Strengthen into that range. One more deep breath here. Out. Might notice one side is going to be a lot tighter than the other. Find wherever the fingers can end up. If they kind of just press into the vertebrae, so you can use that pressure as leverage. Lets my elbows reach back with my inhale, which lets my fingers reach together on my exhale. On and so forth. Challenging yourself here. Take another 2 or 3 breaths. Arms out. Out. One more stretch here. You're going to take the left hand, just reach it all the way down to the ground so that the fingertips are touching the ground, not the entire palm. Right hand's going to reach up and over the ground, gently just stretch. Walk this hand side to side if you want to feel different angles of this stretch. Areas of the neck kind of opening up. You can also turn your chin in a little bit towards the same side arm. Take deep breaths here. Feel a stretch that feels pretty good. Just hang out there. Ready? Go ahead and release that hand over the head. Down. Opposite hand is going to reach out. Just the fingertips touch the ground. Other hand reach up and over. Gently. Gravity work. Long. Side to side to search for other areas of stretch that might be more or less intense. Round. A good stretch for you. There for about 2 or 3. Top hand. All right, we'll scoot towards the middle area of the mat so that when you're lying down, you'll still be on the mat. Holding onto the knees and rocking down onto the back. Draw a few circles in the sky with the knees together. Directions on the circles. Going to eagle legs with the legs relaxing over to the right side. Cross the left foot over your right knee. See if the foot can bind to the calf. Can't, don't worry about it. You try again once the legs are dropped to the side. It might be easier here. With your next inhale, the right hand's going to reach out to a T. Keep this right arm flat from the shoulder to the palm and into your stretch, pulling the knees to the ground if you like. As long as your left shoulder is anchored down, you can look over the left arm to add an extra stretch. Back body. You're ready. Your way out of this pose, feel grounded through your shoulders and gently shake out the legs side to side. Vipers. Across the right leg over the left knee. Find the foot to the calf. Both legs drop down to the left side. The legs are settled. Inhale the right hand out to a T, planting the shoulder to the palm down. Deepen your twist if you like. Make sure that the belly stays a little flexed. If you have any tightness, offset that balance by strengthening the front. Breathing into the back to feel more stretch if comfortable. Unwind from this pose. And shoulder upper the legs side to side. Next inhale, hug the knees into the chest. Give them a nice big squeeze. See if your low back can float from the ground a little bit here. Exhale, release the heels away one by one into Shavasana. The eyes can be closed or open. Palms can relax wherever is comfortable, but face them up if you can. Take a few moments here, back into the breath. Allowing any hand through your body. Gentle movement of the knees. Next inhale, reaching the arms overhead as if you just woken up. Rocking over to your right side, using your right arm as a pillow or prayer position underneath the cheek is fine. Taking a moment here to remember your intention from the beginning of practice. With the eyes closed, use the left palm to assist yourself back. Palms can relax wherever is comfortable. Breath one. Your palms wherever they are, or slowly slide them back up to your heart center in prayer position. Allow yourself to keep your intention with you, as long as you're able to. Any awareness you built during your practice, to get rid of tension and tightness, negativity and pain when it come across those. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today, and I'll see you next time. Namaste.